Hi guys, welcome to this session in Microsoft Access. In this module, I want to go through how to create a basic report. And I'm going to do it based on this table, customers. So I've got this table selected and then it's create. And then the reports area, you've got this report option here, which basically is going to just drop a report on the screen, unformatted. If I click on that, you can see how that sits. So it's okay, it's got some information, but it's not brilliant. And you would have to edit this quite a lot to get it to look nice, put your branding on and things like that. So that's a quick way of doing a report. Nothing wrong with that at all. Not going to save it. The other way you could do it is create it yourself. So I'm going to this option, report design. So report design just gives you like a blank canvas for you to work with. But first of all, you have to attach that table to this report. Now, if I go to report design, I need to get the property sheet on the screen, and then this is where you do it. Record source, and then you're selecting TBL customers. And once you've done that, you can close this down and open up the field list, and then you have all the fields that you might want in this report. Now, sometimes in reports, you don't want all the fields, you don't need all the fields. Unlike forms where usually you do want all the fields because you're using them to input data. Sometimes you're looking at stuff, but most often you're inputting data. In reports, that's not the case. So the blank page has a page header, a details area, and a page footer. Now, if you want a report footer, if I just right click on one of these, you've got this option here, report header and footer, which gives you an extra bit. The report header would be the first page of the report. So if it's a 50-page report, the first page would have your branding on, the title and things like that of the whole report. Page header is what goes on the top of every page, what you'd expect. And then page footers, the page numbers and things like that. And then report footer would be at the very end, the very back page, and it might be some analysis of the whole report, or it might just be blank. It's up to you. What you have to do is populate the relevant parts of this with the fields. So I'm just going to move this up a little bit. Don't need all that space. So let's do it. Now I can bring all this on at once. If I highlight with the shift key all these fields, I'll click on the top one and I'll hold my shift key down and click on the bottom one. These are all selected. I can drag them all on as a group or a block. If I can pick them up. Got them there now. And they've all gone into the details area. I'm not interested in the attachment field or the photo field for this. I've got them there, so it looks very similar to what you'd see on a form. And the way you manipulate this stuff is exactly the same. So if I click off this and then click onto a field, I can move that field around, click and drag. If I want to sit the customer title on top of customer title, I just get the little black square and sit it on top like that. And then they're a pair, I can move them around like so. I can highlight them all. I can go to format, change the color of the background of them all. I can click on the grid, change that color, click on this grid, change that color to obviously not the same color as the fields, like so. And you just go through it like this, setting the thing up how you want it to look. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to spend hours making this amazing, but you are going to need to adjust some of these fields. For example, the address field might need to be a bit longer than that. And notice what happened when I did that. It expanded the actual form area itself, the report area, should I say. And that one needs to be a bit bigger. County probably the same. So you just adjust these to be however big you want them to be. Company name would be another one that you might need to be longer, like so. Now, page header, what I'm going to do for the page header is just put some text in there. Now, on this tab where it says report design, you've got AA and AB, AA. AB is for fields, AA is for labels. So I'm clicking on AA and I'm going to draw a rectangle and just put customers as a title there. Now, if I want that to be centered and bigger and etc., it's not a case of doing this and trying to make that bold and things. You make the box bold. If I do Control B, the box is gone bold. If I go to Format and change the font size to something else, 22, and then go center. That is within this box. I've centered it. If I change the color, well, I'll put it to green like that one, different green. That is what you do for labels. So you could put a label on here to give some instructions about this report. Normally in reports, though, the labeling would be to do with the report. Now you could use a feature called concatenation, which would join all these fields into some narrative, which I'll cover on a later video. But at this level, you're probably just going to have the fields with a title, and then the report header would be the same sort of thing in report design, A, and then I'll put that as customers 2024. And then I don't want to do it all again, so I can click on this one, go back to format, use the little format painter option, and then click on that top text box and it'll just copy it across. Now, I said that this could be the whole front page. If I save this report for a second, if I just click on save and just call it RPT customers, and then go back to this tab and have a look, view, that's what it's going to look like. So you see everything in view, and you can see how it's done this sort of alternate color scheme, which is okay. You can change that if you don't like that. View is not the same as print preview. Print preview is this. That's print preview. That's what you're going to see. Customers. And then there's only one page showing there. So go on to the next page. So you just get that on the next page. You don't get what's on the report header. I'll go back one. You don't get customers 2024. That's only on the first page. All subsequent pages, you just get that. So let's close this down. And we're back to this and go back into design so we can do some other things. Now, down the bottom there, page footer, you normally put like the page numbers on. So at the top there, you've got page number. I'll click on that. You can put page numbers bottom of page footer, centered. Okay, that'll be okay. So it's coming there with a word page, and then it's got that little and symbol, which is a concatenation symbol, and then it's joining it with numbers, page numbers. So that's okay. And then you've got date and time. That sits up there, and let's have a quick look at that. You should always keep looking at it. So I can't actually see the page number in that view, so I'd have to go into print preview, and then you can see it down the bottom there. Print preview, come out of print preview, back to this, back into design. So you keep clicking and having a look to see what sort of damage you're doing to your report. You will spend a lot of time, to be honest, on this, guys, getting this looking nice, putting your logos on and stuff like that. You've got the same functionality as you did in Forms in terms of adding images, adding logos, etc., etc. If you've got logos, it's just wanting the logo. He can be the logo. There you go. It's on the front page. But you can also add images. If you want to add an image, you can just put that wherever you want if it's relevant, and then have a look, see what the impact is. So I'm going back to this, having a view. So that's on every record, that picture. Doesn't change over because it's not part of the database table. It's just an image you've put on there. That's okay. I can live with that. Go back into design. I'm going to get rid of it though. Get rid of that. Now you've also got the option on a basic report to do group and sort. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of this data here and delete it for a minute. I haven't actually deleted it, I've just got rid of it. And I'm going to select group. And then down the bottom it says group, and I'm going to click on group by, and then you've got options here. So I could group by surname, I could group by city. I will group by city because that's the only thing that there is more than one of. So if I go city, I'm creating a group for city. So basically what you would do now is you'd bring in the city field into the group like that. And I'll just move this over to the margin a bit. You don't actually need the label. Let me get rid of the label. And then I'll just push that up to the top. And then this space that's not too big, can be quite big when you go print preview or look at the report. I'm going to make that a different color as well so it stands out a bit more. I'll go not blue, I'm fed up with blue, different colour, go pink, or whatever colour that is. I'm not great with colours, as you can see. So now I'm going to bring in all the other fields. So I don't need to bring in customer ID. I'll bring in first name and surname and company. That's what I'll bring in. Just those three. I'm not bothered about address. So you don't, like I said, you don't have to bring everything in. You can move all these as a group, as a set, like that. So I'll need to make this a bit bigger. And I'll need to make these a bit bigger as well. I could have done all three of those together, but never mind. I clicked off them. Like so, that's how you make them bigger. Now you need to get rid of this space. You don't need all this space. There you go. So if I go and have a look at that, see what that looks like. Not beautiful, but you see there's a few different people living in Leeds, and you can see there I probably need to do a little bit of a gap there. If I go back into it, so this is a bit tight, this one. Pull it down a little bit, have another look. So you get that gap now, so it looks a little bit better. It's a bit over the top in terms of colours, but there you go. I can live with that. Remember, this report is based on this table. If this table grows, so will this report. This report is dynamic, and that's how Access works. So any additions in there, this will pick it up. Go back into design. So what I want to do now is not have it like this, so it's all one page. Well, it looks like it's one page. I want it to change a different page. Let's have a look at what options we've got in here. So we can separate things off by pages. So if I click on the details tab, for example, and get myself into the property sheet, you've got force new page, and I can select before section. So before section or after section. So let's go after section. Let's see what this does. So we've got, I need to go into print preview, that would help. So we've got Bradford, we've got Leeds, and it's doing a page after. I don't want it to do that. I want all the leads to be together. So close that down, go back into design. So it's, let's get this back to none. We don't want that to do that. So on city, if I click on that one, if I do the same thing on that one after section, so that should put all the leads ones together. If I click on print preview again and have a look. So that's Bradford and the leads. Okay, I see what it's done. It's still not right. So it's doing leads and then a new page. So go back into it. We'll get there eventually. I want to change that as after section. Let's go for before section. See what happens there. And you're clicking on print preview. So that says Bradford. There we go. And there's the records for Leeds. That's what I want. It's all sort of sorted by city. Newcastle. You can see how it was working there. Great. So close that. Come back into design. Now, if you don't want colours to be like this, where you've got alternate colours, so it's grey, green, these two are together, it doesn't look great. You can knock that off if you want. If we go into design, back into design, where you need to go for this is format, and then it's this colour, alternate colour. So you just basically click on the detail bit, which I have done already, and then select no colour, and then have a look. Back to report, design, click on view, and that should have knocked it off. So now it's all green. Everything's green. Happy with that, so I'm going to save that. So I quite like that. So that's all I want to talk about on this little session. How you can manually create your own report in design and colour it in and make it your own. So hopefully that information was of use. Thank you for your time. I'll catch you in the next one.